I figured I was going to do a little introduction about myself anyway. My name is Allie. I've been a huge fan of My Little Pony ever since they started creating it about 30 years ago. Gosh, I've loved My Little Pony, just the ponies in general. They've just been great. And then when the new My Little Pony came out, I was like a lot of us where I wasn't really interested in watching the show until one of my friends forced me to watch it, and I just fell in love with it immediately, like the rest of us have. And of course, I picked up on a weird cross-eyed pony in the background, and I started keeping an eye out and looking for her, and started getting more and more involved in the fan base and checking out Derpy Who's News for all my new My Little Pony information. And that's where I started to learn more about the Derpy fandom, the fan fictions, the side videos, the pictures, and just how much everybody loves this Derpy character. And we really identify with her, and we really look out for her and care about her. And it's just really interesting that this little strange cross-eyed pony, background pony, was so immediately loved and adored by the whole Brony community. And that really made me think, a lot of the Bronies are supposedly introverts based on certain psychological studies, and we don't really tend to be the type of people that would go out and try to make new friends, but it's almost like this Derpy character allowed us to do that in a sense. A little bit more about me. I was born with scoliosis. They discovered that from the moment I was born. I had my first operation at 6 months old, and I've had 10 of them since then. I was also only born with one lung and one kidney, and the way the curvature of my spine was curving, it was pulling over my one and only lung, so I would have been dead by the time I was about 12 if I hadn't had all these surgeries. So believe it or not, this is the fix to me. But I've always kind of been an outsider, awkward, had trouble at school with bullies and not really being accepted, and people kind of just assuming that I'm dumb based on the way that I look. And that was really what drew me to this Derpy character, is because she made me feel like I would be more accepted. And like I said, I think that a lot of us touched on that, and that's why a lot of us associate with that character and love her so much. And so I really wanted to go over the history of Derpy and how she came about, and all the controversies surrounding her and what she means to us. And I also had a few really cute videos, clips from the show, some fan-made videos as well that I would like to share with you, if only I could find the correct HDMI cable for my laptop. So I'm just waiting on that for just a moment, and I apologize.
So could it be said that you just don't know what went wrong?
I just don't know what went wrong. What's funny is I'm using my husband's laptop too, and he uses PowerPoint and does all these presentations for his work, and he was just like, oh yeah, you'll just take it in and I'll just plug it in, you'll be good to go. And no, not the case. Not the case at all.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we figured out why bubbles?
Why bubbles? Why bubbles? Well, the bubbles came about because Derpy was based on an original G1 pony, just like Pinkie Pie was and many of the other ponies. They were based on one pony and sort of morphed into a new pony, and they just took a random G1 pony. It had bubbles on it, and they changed the colors around a little bit, and it was just, she was just supposed to be a background pony. She wasn't ever supposed to get any attention whatsoever. And there were a bunch of these mass-produced little background ponies in the original season of the show. And that's why you'll see like multiple ponies with sort of different color variations because they figured no one would notice. And I'm sure they figured no one would notice those crossed eyes either, but we did. So totally random.
Okay.
How about you? That's where I won't be in the way of everything.
Don't talk to me like don't be loud.
I don't think it's louder. That's better.
And I'm a little bit derpy myself, hence being so fussy and messy everywhere.
So, how many of you started following Derpy in season 1? Who started noticing her in season 2? And how many could find any of her in season 3? Y'all were looking really hard.
She was in every episode.
Sure she was.
Yes, she was.
She was
in
in
the opening.
She was in the opening?
She was in the training.
She was in the auditorium.
She was also in the finale.
Yeah.
Yes. She was in the finale about 4 times.
Sort of watch that.
So you have
I don't know if season 4. No one's seen it.
Gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, it looks like it needs to be raised though. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. The evil thing that wants to produce toys.
That equals place.
The evil place. The second one was made to sell toys. The third one was even worse and made to sell toys. And then they came out with this. What? But then they got
Can you make it louder? Oh well, we'll just go with that. Yeah, that works. Perfect. I got it.
All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna rock and roll.
Yay!
someone else. Oh, no sound. Sound!
Oh, we love you too, Derpy.
I just don't know how I wrong.
Oh,
I know. I will roll a bunch of stuff.
I have speakers that have it gonna
I promise you, it's like really entertaining.
It's just
Your eyes are all googly and your face is askew. You're just my style.
I promise I'll try to make it worth the wait. And we can thank Carrie Grip for that. All right, finally, the Tao of Derpy. And I actually got this image directly off of Derpy Who's News. And you'll see a lot of my information I got directly off of Derpy Who's News and MLP Wiki and Know Your Meme. So thank you for those wonderful yet questionable internet sources. I really appreciate y'all. And there's an awesome Zecora in the background. Is that Zecora? Very cool. No? Zebra? Ah, it's very cool. Okay, so Tao is defined by Merriam-Webster as the art or skill of doing something in harmony with the essential nature of the thing. I don't know how Merriam-Webster can get away with defining something and end it with the thing, but that's what they gave me, so that's what you'll get. And then Derpy is defined by Urban Dictionary as awkward or embarrassing. That was the nicest one I could get off of Urban Dictionary. So there you go, a reputable and unreputable source, although I think Urban Dictionary's definition is a little bit more precise. Okay, so a brief history in Derp. The first appearance of Derpy was just, like I said, originally a random background pony, possibly a product of Miss Glaring. And so there we go. That was the very first scene she was ever in. And director Jason Thiessen later he noticed it before the show was presented and shown on the Hub. But at that point, Hasbro had already given him the okay, so he's like, it's cute, it's funny, and I'm gonna leave it in. Nobody will even notice. Well, they did. Coining the name Derpy, 4chan, the black void from which the Brony movement spewed forth, immediately took notice of this derp-faced background pony and named her accordingly. We can thank one Dr. Foreigner for coining that name. Foreigner. Unfortunately, it's cut off at the bottom, but at the very bottom it does say, and so the legend of Derpy Hooves is born. But in typical derp fashion, you can't see that part. So, the creator's responses, and if you noticed, the timestamp on that was October 25th. So this was very shortly after the very first episode was shown. I mean, immediately they jumped on Derpy. The creators, don't take that the wrong way. The creators' responses, Thiessen was delighted by how much attention Derpy got. He really wasn't expecting that. So he decided to have all future incarnations of her throughout the episode changed so it showed also those derped eyes. And Lauren Foss was also delighted by the reaction and deemed that they go ahead and include Derpy as a reoccurring background pony. And so for your viewing pleasure, can y'all see some of that?
Raise the projector.
How do you raise the projector?
Put a book under it. Eat muffins.
Raise the sing one.
Okay, I can't even lift that thing. Alright, you're going under.
Just sing the stuff in the thing. Just sing the stuff. You know?
My stuffed kitty squid is paying the ultimate sacrifice. Alright, the best of Derpy Who's. These are all the first appearances from the first season.
She's a blondie, blondie, blonde for sure. She'll leave you wanting more.
I'm Derpy Hooks, and you gotta get it together, 'cause I'm going crazy and I'm dropping handles like the weather. You think that I'm nuts, and I don't really give a cut. There you go, kiss me now. Bubbles on the butt, nothing's yeah.
Believe me, when you listen to this song over and over again when you're creating a PowerPoint presentation, it becomes extremely catchy.
Is this north or is this south? La 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 woo.
And then you start singing it at work, and all your coworkers hate you.
What's the song called?
I don't know, derpy, derpy, derp.
Something dirty.
Yeah, something derp.
That's a little name, something dope.
Something dope? That's, oh,
Okay, I don't know.
okay.
It should be.
I thought it was interesting that Faust noted that in our Brony's interview, she kind of imagined Derpy as a Harpo Marx sort of character who didn't speak and no one really called out by name, leaving her a blank slate for the fans. And that really was what she was, and it allowed us to create Derpy sort of in our own image. You know, she really did become our mascot in this way because they left us so much to work with. Absolutely. So, where's Derpy? In the second season, Derpy was intentionally storyboarded into the episodes, sort of a Where's Waldo game, a game for the fans to play. This was Hasbro sort of reaching out to us in this way. I think not really Hasbro, but more the writers and the producer. What?
DHS.
Who is that?
Studio DHS.
What's DHS?
The studio.
Thank you. Thank you for educating me. I included this clip because of all the seasons, or all the episodes in the second season, I heard about it and read about this scene, but I had to watch the episode literally 6 times before I could see it because it was so quick. So, there it is. Fansplosions. And that image I found late night during a Google search, and it terrified me and gave me nightmares. So it's the most horrifying Derpy picture I've ever seen. And I know there's worse out there, I just choose not to look those. All right, fanfic gives way to the male mare. Now, does anybody know how Derpy became the male mare? Does anybody know how that started? Do you know? See, that's the thing, is that's what most people think, that it's from the scene where she's in the delivery truck and a bunch of stuff falls on Twilight. But the interesting thing is, it was actually created from an extremely short story by the name of Bright Eyes. It was about 3 paragraphs long, very short, back in the early days of the Brony movement on 4chan, on the co-boards. What they would do is they'd wait late at night until the admins were asleep and they'd start posting pony stuff all over the place. And occasionally, they would also write these little short stories. And the very first one that mentioned Derpy flying through the air delivering mail to all the people of Ponyville, or ponies of Ponyville, pardon me, was in this short story written on the co-board. Yes, they are. Ponies are ponies. People are ponies too. And that's where you can find a copy of the short story. I couldn't find the original place, but that's where you can find it. A Friend for Derpy Who's was also another fanfic written by Jen Dimitri, and that you can find on fanfiction.net. And that one's actually about 6 chapters long, more fully fleshing out the male mare character in Derpy. Both of these works of fan fiction were created far, far prior to the scene of the delivery truck. Way, way in advance, before this scene was ever released on the hub. So it's just kind of interesting that that sort of coincidentally happened in the show, but that's not why Derpy delivers the mail. Yes, sir?
Well, yeah, if it was, then Derpy would be a delivery man and not
Not delivering a truck full of furniture, she'd be delivering mail. But I decided to include the clip anyway, just because it's my favorite Derpy clip from the first season. She's so adorable, even when she's accidentally killing you.
She's wrong.
Muffins! So, who wants muffins?
Oh my god.
I brought muffins for everyone. Well, no, I didn't bring muffins for everyone. Watch out, sorry if I injure you. This is either blueberry, no.
Is that raspberry?
There's no raspberry. I throw like a girl.
You want to show off your muffins?
So, who knows why Derpy likes muffins? Because muffins? Pretty much. Anybody else? Why does, what?
the big bad.
Oh yeah.
From Applebuck season, yes. Yes, that is it. Yes, sir.
I actually have seen like a close-up clip analyzing it, and I've actually seen that Colgate is the one that says muffins and not Colgate.
Well, let's find out.
Thanks, Tony.
Let's see, that's Colgate. Which one's Colgate?
It's colored like Colgate.
The greenish one? Alright.
Yeah, she said.
It looked like that at the same time to me.
I think she's saying it.
I could read this and that was more.
I want to hear that again. No, I think it's Derpy.
It's Derpy.
I think it's Derpy. Because their mouths are moving in different time. But anyway, that's it. Well, they're all saying it. But
Derpy the best.
but Derpy said it one more time. So,
They said it at the same time, but I did it in back.
well, if this is like who shot first, Han or well, Derpy said muffins, so there you go.
Shot first, Han said muffin.
So anyway, that's the whole reason. That is the whole reason why Derpy loves muffins. They grabbed onto that one scene where she may or may not have said muffins and decided forevermore Derpy was obsessed with baked goods with fruit in them. Derpy and the Doctor. So, oh, Derpy and the Doctor. They're so adorable together. Now, I tried to figure out how we decided at one point that Derpy and Dr. Who's got together. Does anybody know how this got started? Because I couldn't figure it out. looking at you.
Actually,
Finish your muffin.
I'm so sorry, they're so good. It was actually because there was a romance episode. I think it was Hearts. No, it was Hearts and Hoops Day.
Hearts and Hoops Day.
Derpy was.
It started before that. It started way before that.
There was also various. Well, I saw it because they were saying that this was. It was when they discovered Time Turner as the background Doctor Who's character. And then they were thinking possible companions, and they thought, what it would be a great idea if Derpy would be inside. And I happen to be the voice actor for Doctor Who's next to the person who drew that picture of Derpy called Dumbledore.
Really?
Are you really?
On Pico and Gilly.
Oh my god!
Wait, what?
Did that. I'm so sorry.
Wow, my day I've gone British now. My day just got so much better. Yes, ma'am.
The reason the doctor is the Derpy travels with the doctor is because everyone wants the lonely girl to travel with the doctor.
That's brilliant. I'm gonna go with that for now.
I'm sure this may be after this people side shows okay, but there's one episode where you see Derpy and the doctor standing next to each other in a crowd scene.
Yeah, that's the same thing I said. It was Hearts and Hoops Day.
There's one episode where you see them standing in this background in the same scene about 3 different times.
Yeah.
What episode is that?
Interesting.
What happened in that episode?
I can't remember. There's a big crowd shot of like everyone in Ponyville, and at 3 different points you see ponies with Time Turner and Derpy's coloration standing next to each other. I think that might be it.
I'll have to go back and check that out. I appreciate that though. So, yeah, Doctor Who's named Time Turner. Doctor Who's by Hasbro, presumably to avoid copyright
It has the
infringement.
W in the Elements of Harmony source book.
Huh?
In the Elements of Harmony source book, it does spell it with W.
Awesome. And then Doctor Who's reluctantly tolerates Derpy's affections in lovestruck-derpy.tumblr.com.
Best time ever!
It's a really, really cute blog. I really fully hope that y'all go check it out.
I think, though, somewhat depressingly, it's officially a prequel to Discord of Who.
It is actually.
That's very
I
very
don't that thing on.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. Well, I was going to get to that. Doctor Who and the assistant. Gosh, should I even? Written as an original audio play by Pierce Mulder and Keiko and Gilly. You want to talk about it for a minute?
Sure.
Hello. Hello. Ah, yes. I think you all remember me as this voice. It was created by Pierce Mulder. He came up to me as an idea and he said, Keiko, I've got something for you. Yes. Can you play as the Doctor? I didn't even know what Doctor Who was. I'm sorry. So I said, okay, I'll give it my best shot. So the first Doctor sounded like a little bit like this. Oh, that's nice. Can I have some butter with that? And it didn't go well. So I watched Doctor Who from season 9, which is Christopher Eccleston onward, and then I actually liked all the Doctors and wanted to incorporate all of them. So I had a little bit of a 10 with the voice, but the personality of all the Doctors, because in a way we're all a little bit derpy in our own way. And the Doctor's walking free, walking into his mad adventures. I'm a pony now. Ponies are cool.
What a complete honor. I'm so tickled by that. And I was going to play the entirety of the episode, but late last night I found out the clip converter messed with me, and so I've only got part of it. But here is a portion of this, and if you haven't seen it yet, go out and check it out. Go out and listen to the radio plays. They're absolutely fabulous and entertaining. And my husband's a huge Doctor Who fan, and not so much a Little Pony fan, although I've caught him watching the episodes. But that really helps bring our fandom together, and I just really appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Random Doctor Who point. Doctor Who has, since this original series was canceled in '89, had a long history of doing audio plays, so this, in a way, is continuing that tradition.
Very, very cool.
Unexpected. Let's have a look around then. Trees are the same, birds are the same. A bit too sunny to be English weather. Well, best I try to fix it.
Hello there, mister. Wow, your house kind of appeared out of nowhere.
No, this isn't a house. Furthermore, you're talking. And you look like you're an equine of some sort. I think that's more interesting.
I am a pony, and you're a pony too, mister.
No, wait, possibly. Last time I checked, I was at least Homo sapien in appearance.
Homo say what now? Outside white petals, no point. So you're from the circus. I love this circus.
No, it means I walk on two legs.
You're not walking on two legs, mister. If that goes into your head.
Now hold on a minute, let me take a look. Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Look at that. Hooves and everything. Guess that explains a lot then. I'm liking the tail, that's a rather nice touch. Chestnut looks like still not chick. This looks like an hourglass right here on my rump. Fancy that? Doesn't look like a brass.
Duh, that's your cheek.
And my best part is the hooves. You just pick it up with your hoof. Now I think I'll carry it in my mouth. And then this I also included. This is another fan-made video, and there's no dialogue in it. Very touching. It made me cry. Okay, not with a whisper, but with a crash. More serious topic of derpy hooves. Oh, Hasbro. You tried so hard.
In the end, it didn't matter.
You tried so hard. I just included that because it's pretty cool. So, Derpy gets a voice, aka Hasbro, you're doing it wrong. The script was actually written with the name Ditsy Doo in it, but the producer asked her to go ahead and change the name to Derpy as a nod to the fans. And it was voiced by Tabitha St. Germain, who she said later she had no idea Derpy was supposed to be a girl. I don't see how that's possible. And she also said that she thought of the voice after a neighbor kid that she knew.
Gosh, I'd love to talk to that guy.
Yeah, right? So here's the original scene.
Now, careful, Derpy! I'm gonna do any more damage than you've already done. I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah,
Yeah, she kind of sounds girl-like. I don't really believe these.
You okay, Rainbow Dash? Anything I can do to help? No, nothing. In the name of Celestia, just sit there and do nothing.
Alright, so I'm sort of going to speed through because I'm starting to run out of time here, but I really wanted to at least touch on this topic because it's so important. So, and then her voice was promptly taken away. They pulled her off of iTunes. Outraged parents and fans absolutely flooded Hasbro and Amy Keating with angry emails and letters about the character. There were also a bunch of really excited, happy ones because so many of us were excited that it felt like Hasbro was embracing us as a community and that, you know, we were valid fans too, as well as the children that it was written over. So we learned a very valuable lesson here that never go full Derpy. It did not work. Yes, sir.
I believe that the negative emails were counted in 10. There were 10 negative emails. What made it a bigger deal, because it wasn't a big deal, the negative was actually very little from the parents. But what made it a big deal is Amy Keating Rogers has two mentally challenged children.
Yes, that was actually the...
So even though there was only 10, the thought that she might have created something that could potentially be harmful to other children like that, or her children, is what made it a big deal.
Thank you.
It wasn't the number of emails, it was very little.
Right. So that was the next thing that I was going to say.
Alright.
That's okay. You're just helping me move right along here, so it's good. You're doing it for me. In fact, Soren, which Miranda knows who Soren is, Soren is named after one of Amy Keating's sons with a severe mental disability. And yeah, it just caused her a great deal of pain to think that anybody would think that she would make fun of disabled people or children. So the scene was completely edited, and just real quick, here's how it was changed.
Now careful. You don't want to do any more damage than you've already done. I just don't know what went wrong.
Done wrong.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Nice work, Rainbow Dash.
And take note of her eyes, too.
You okay, Rainbow Dash? Anything I can do to help? No, nothing. In the name of Celestia, just sit there and do...
So basically, you get the idea. They changed the voice to a more ditzy voice, which is what Amy Keating kind of really more pictured for the ditzy, derpy character. And then her eyes were also uncrossed, which I felt was really unnecessary for them to do this late in the show's history.
Because people have lazy eye syndrome without being mentally retarded.
Exactly, absolutely. And any mention of the name Derpy was completely removed, leaving her nameless at the time. And this prompted vast amounts of drama on the internet, with petitions, even more emails to Hasbro. I mean, we were really mad, we were really angry that they were taking our Derpy away from us, or trying to change her, like, from what she was. And thank you to Dumbo Rat, who voiced this wonderful video. Yes, sir.
I remember hearing like some sort of video clip, like apparently there was this one guy who wasn't a pony that watched this, and he said that made him cry.
My husband, I showed this to my husband last night, and he started crying. And he's not even that into ponies.
My name is Derpy Hose. I used to be loved by many. I used to make them laugh and fill their hearts with joy. One day, I finally decided to come out and talk to them. And what happened then? Some of them get angry and call me names. Stupid, retarded, offensive. They want my name changed for me to go away forever. I never meant to hurt anyone's feelings. I just don't know what went wrong. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't even do anything wrong. It's not my fault that I'm like this. It's not my fault that my eyes just happen to do this. It's okay. No matter what, you're always my best fans. And I love all of you. And I'm really glad that you're all here to support me. And if my name's not okay, if my eyes aren't okay, I'm sorry. But no matter what, I'll always be there in the background, waiting for you to see me. And I just thank you, everybody. Thank you.
The first time I saw this movie, I cried for an hour. I was very deeply hurt by the way they edited Derpy and changed her. And I felt this way. I felt like, I'm not allowed to be who I am. Do I need to be changed too? Do I need to be more normal? Yes.
Kind of a funny story. My fiance finds this basically the day that it comes out. I'm like, what's a Derpy? I didn't know anything about My Little Pony, anything, and he's like, I'll show you the first episode. You can decide after that if you want to keep watching it. I'm here today because of him.
Yep. A lot of
married
us.
now.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So what does this say about us as a society? Maybe Derpy's clumsy because her eyes are crossed, for crying out loud. I mean, just cross your eyes and try walking around. You might reach for something and miss it, or bump into a wall. That doesn't make you...
Even people that have crossed eyes, they have problems perceiving death.
Yeah, exactly. So they might be a little bit clumsy, but that doesn't make them mentally retarded. Yes?
Also, there is also one problem that I've been having sometimes recently. Plus, like sometimes I've been suffering from vertigo because of some effects. Apparently, it's because I'm having too much sodium, but that might also be something that nobody could possibly have.
Right, exactly. You know, there are so many of these things. Forgive me if I don't take too many more comments because I have 5 minutes to get through the rest of my presentation. But why is the correct reaction to someone or something being so out of the norm to make it just like everyone else? You know, birth defects do not equal mental deficiency. When I was very young, I was about 4 or 5, maybe 6 years old, I was being admitted to school and the teacher was trying to explain everything to me very slowly. Do you understand? Do you understand, sweetheart? And then we do this, and just very slowly. And my mom happened to be there when all of this was going on, and she said that I really shocked the teacher because at 5 years old I turned to her and I was like, I'm sorry, do you have a speech impediment? Didn't have any more problems after that. And then on the flip side of that, there are mentally handicapped people out in society that are loved and cherished by their friends and family. And even if Derpy was mentally handicapped, why would we sweep that under the rug? You know, I understand why we did it as far as to be sensitive to Amy Keating, but it just really, like, not knowing that at the time, it really didn't sit well with me that their response was that Derpy should be hidden or changed to be normal. I don't really like that. It did not make me feel good. And so Derpy was phased out of the show. It's very upsetting to me. Only 4 shows in season 3 have brief appearances of Derpy, other than the intro, which I did not know about. And it's just like very flashes of just a piece of her. Like one episode, all it has is the top quarter of one side of her head, the back of it actually. And when Tabitha St. Germain, who had lost her voice at the time, was asked during last May's Comicpalooza, just about a month ago, she imitated the sound of a flat line regarding whether Derpy would be returning to the show. So, or is she? She has gained a growing appearance in merchandise like the toy presented at 2012 San Diego Comic-Con.
Got it.
I would give my left foot for this toy. I am currently watching eBay wishing that it would go for less than $200, but it's just not going to happen. Or my backpack from Hot Topic, which I love and cherish. Nothing fits in it, by the way, but it's really good for snuggles. And she even makes an appearance in Equestria Girls. I haven't seen it yet, but awesome. So this really brings me to the end of the Tao of Derpy. I was really going to talk more about what Derpy means to me personally and how, you know, she really does epitomize the brony movement. She really is our mascot. I mean, we created her. She was our blank slate pony that we fell in love with at first sight, sight. Many of us are awkward outcasts like she is, and we all join together. We're not fully accepted by Hasbro. We're sort of tolerated, which is very nice of them. And we love and embrace each other. That was just a wonderful thing from the first time I went to the Houston Brony group, how everyone was just so welcoming and just really eager to become friends, even though we're all people that normally wouldn't interact with each other on a day-to-day basis and, you know, sort of avoid interactions with others. But, you know, we throw up a bro hoof and it's like, oh yeah, party. Let's go out and be friends and do something, do some artwork. The Brony movement was a beautiful and unexpected mistake. It all started out as making fun of My Little Pony. And instead, we just fell in love with it and fell in love with each other. And just like Derpy, she was just an accident that we all fell in love with. And that's really why I feel like she is the epitome of the Brony movement. She really is the heart of the Brony movement. And she is, in my opinion, the best pony. So that's the end, and I just wanted to say thank you very much for all of y'all coming. Yes, sir?
I was wondering if you could just quote the song, the Derpy Lullaby.
I didn't record that song, but I do have another song for y'all. Yes, sir?
Oh, you forgot to mention the merchandise that there's a vinyl figure of Derpy.
Yes, the Hot Topic vinyl figure. I also want that as
I
well.
actually found that in the backpack at Hastings once.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I didn't buy it though. Well, I'm planning on buying those 2 things one day.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. for my G1 pony swap. It's going to be fun. If you don't have a G1 pony, I don't blame you for not coming. But if you do have a G1 pony, make sure to bring it with. I will help you identify it, and then you can enter a raffle for this stuffed pony right here. That's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thank you so much.